Let's compare Orly's new bell-bottom blues with Urban Decay's Fender Bender from the 90s. When I revived Fender Bender last year, a lot of you were begging for a dupe, and I don't necessarily think the Orly will be a dupe, but it should certainly be a vibe match. It's a gorgeous pastel blue creme formula with an aquamarine shimmer flash. Fender Bender, on the other hand, is a pearlescent pastel blue with an aquamarine flash. Maybe you can see it a little better in my other lighting. It's a little more subtle than the Orly. Bell-bottom blues also reminds me a little of Hard Candy Sky from 1995, though Sky's cooler tone shimmer flash is undetectable on the nail, which is disappointing. But let's go ahead and swatch bell-bottom blues first. I'm only doing one nail since I only have a couple lint-free cotton pads left to remove it. I canceled my Amazon Prime, so I need to restock elsewhere. We're at the zoo and probably shouldn't feed the billionaires. This goes on really smoothly, and I'm loving the seafoamy sparkle. I'm often asked how I don't flood my cuticles. Notice how the back of my brush doesn't have any product. If it did, I'd lose control and it would slip and slide right into my cuticles on contact. You only need a small bead on the application side, especially with these newer, wider brushes that hold a lot more product. Now let's look at it in brighter lighting. Now I have to note that by design, my lighting catches every last shimmer speck. This is basically what it would look like in the sun. In standard indoor lighting, it can take on the appearance of a creme formula polish. So it's a bit of a transformer depending on what light you're in. Now let's swatch Fender Bender beside it. I didn't notice at the time that the brush shed a bristle on that first coat. That just comes with the territory with vintage polish. At some point, I'll likely have to remove the brush and strain the polish. There's already several fibers floating around in that bottle. On this second coat, they actually are looking more similar than I anticipated. The brush is wonky and bent, so I accidentally overloaded it, but we'll be okay. Now let's top coat it so the light hits it at the same level. Now let's go ahead and look at them under the brighter light. Side by side, you can really see the difference between a creme with shimmer versus a true pearly shimmer. If the light isn't hitting bell-bottom blues directly, it will take on its flatter creme appearance. That's not a bad thing though. Orly had several really amazing creme with shimmer shades in the 90s, one of my favorites being Cool Cucumber, which was a green with a copper sparkle. I swatched that one a few months ago on my TikTok, and you can also see it on my IG. But let me know in the comments if you think bell-bottom blues matches the vibe of 90s Fender Bender, and be sure to follow along. Up next will be a 1940s revival, Peggy Sage Heartbreak Pink.